everyone, I'm here with my coder bro Wayne, and we are going to White Castle. Kind of like the movie, we think of the White Castle as the happy place destination that you went through lots of adventures to get to. And like Harold and Kumar, we of course are so Asian.
Awesome.
And so our guests are too. So let's hear the adventures of our Asian friends as they find their very own White Castle. Wayne, who do we got with us today?
Oh yeah, psyched to introduce our guest today. He's been involved in sports innovation and entrepreneurship for many years. Don't want to age him out, just like us, so I won't say exactly how many, but working with big sporting good companies such as Rawlings, proven industry leader, C-level president, founder positions, and I believe founded another company, which we'll hear all about more recently. He is a great and avid golfer himself, and I have to mention he's a graduate of UPenn. I guess he must have gotten rejected from Wash U, so UPenn is probably next. But yeah, let's welcome Art Chou.
Hi guys. Hi guys. First of all, I got to say thanks for being here. But look, I'm in St. Louis. Like I told you guys, I am teaching a class at WashU, so I'm got a lot of props. And I do remember that I won't age myself, but man, when we went to Penn, the acceptance rate there was like 40%. It was literally it was a different world. Yeah.
But you and your wife went there, but now your son goes there, so it's a whole Penn family. And now the acceptance rate is what, 7, 6, 5?
7%. Yeah, they have a lot of our money. Let's put it that way.
Were you and your wife Tiger parents to drive him to go to UPenn, or just circumstance?
All it takes is one Tiger mom, and then Dad doesn't. Dad just kind of So you guys know how it is. Is a Tiger mom is plenty, and that's enough to fuel that whole engine going. Yeah, no worries there.
That's funny. Penn has this reputation of being like kind of one of the more cutthroat schools out there. Do you see that from your kid?
It definitely had. It's even when we were there, it was like very pre-professional. It's very with Wharton's, it's very business oriented, and right. it definitely like we say, all stereotypes are rooted in some fact truth, and some truth, and I definitely say so. Yeah, it is definitely very. More pre-professional. I see. He's in these. He doesn't know what he wants to do as much, but he's around all these other kids that really do. They go in there and they're super different. They know what they go in there knowing they're on this part of this 5-year program, and we just I could tell them, just don't worry. You don't worry.
Yeah, it's a lot of stress, man.
It is a lot of stress.
Brother went there, and then his nephew went there not too long ago. He graduated, I don't know, 3 or 4 years ago, but he said the same thing. He said it's super pre-professional, but he also said it was just cutthroat like crazy. He was like, I'm getting my job, but I'm going to kick you out of the way so I can get my job. Like everybody's
there was very cutthroat, like he said. I remember meeting your nephew.
It's kind of nuts. Tell us about what you're doing now. I think it's so interesting. Like we were saying before this podcast that you basically have this dream job in sports, but kind of like the like you get to see all the coolest new sports technology and stuff. So tell us about what you're doing now, and then also back up to the sports Shark Tank stuff that we were talking about.
Yeah, and I've been in sports for a while. I'm an engineer. I got a mechanical engineer by degree. But so now I have a company, I have a consulting agency called Alumni Sports Partners, and we basically have 2 different types of business. We have a corporate consulting, which like I have a client. I work for Sony. Sony Japan is a client where we help them take their technology. They own Hawkeye. They own all the stadiums and all the like Wimbledon and all the cameras. The cameras doing online.
It's on a wire.
They own Hawkeye. No. It's all cameras. This is all cameras that are fixed that are viewing everything. Every MLB stadium now has Hawkeye. All these cameras around the stadium. They're measuring all the balls.
Like at Wimbledon and all the Grand Slams, they're doing all the line calls.
All the line calling. No line judges. Yeah, no line judges.
Oh, is that right?
Anymore.
So it actually adjusts the game. Like it's refereeing the game.
It's refereeing the game, and then it gives you all these stats. It can tell you how fast the ball's going, where's it going. Tennis, they're tracking forehands and backhands and all that kind of stuff.
Refereeing in baseball now? Is it getting close to refereeing the strike zone?
It is. This is the first year. This is the first year they call it ABS, Automated Balls and Strikes.
No
And
way.
this is the first year you'll see it. They headed to the minor leagues last year, where this year, if the pitcher or the batter can question. Basically, you can.
Okay.
It's
Just like in tennis.
It's like tennis, exactly. So they'll have the normal umpire back there calling a ball a strike, and then the batter can say, I don't, I want to challenge. And they're given certain number of challenges
and they go to the tape.
every game, and then they go to the tape. Yeah,
I see.
Okay, so they're not getting rid of the umpire. I was like,
Not
that
yet.
would be a big deal in
But that's how tennis
yet.
started. First, they still had the
Exactly.
humans calling it, and then the player could say, go to the tape. But then once they get comfortable, they get rid of the referee completely. Because now in tennis, they're literally just Hawkeye calls it. And so I'm guessing in baseball, the same thing will happen where eventually they won't even challenge it.
Is baseball is so centered around that human element of that umpire. That umpire dude is he's so part of the game. Like, whereas tennis, I don't know, there's always a guy, like you always think of the umpire guy with the mask in baseball. It's
what
so
I'm
traditional.
picturing is that they'll probably still have that dude there because, like you said, but he'll probably just use a device and he'll just like look at it and he'll just be like, it was a strike. You know, he'll just kind of, but he'll probably use a device now.
They'll do that, and then what they'll do is at the levels down market, where minor leagues and colleges and high schools, what they'll do is they have multiple umpires. Generally, have to have at least two umpires, one behind the plate and one out in the field. They'll get rid of one, and so where that because it's a big cost savings if they can eliminate one umpire per game. So eventually it'll get there.
So Sony owns the software, or what part do they own?
They own the company. They own Hawkeye, the whole company.
So the cameras.
Yeah,
the cameras as well as
it's
the
camera
software.
and the software. It's both, and so then they're saying, hey, how do we go down market? How do we take that and go down to the little league level?
That's exactly what I'm because I have daughters trying to play tennis, and tennis is the worst sport in the fact that they literally have to self-referee themselves. I mean, and it's your opponent making the call. So when cheating happens, it's just kind of uncomfortable. It's very difficult.
It's funny because I had the company called Rapsodo, which I was working with before. So we started Rapsodo. They're doing tracking for golf launch monitors and baseballs. We actually have a lower end version of what Hawkeye does out in the field. And I was doing biz dev, and we were looked into tennis. Hey, let's get into tennis.
You could bring it down to the juniors in tennis.
I would meet with the USTA. I met with the USTA, and I say, hey, what data are you looking for? If we have this system, what is it the speed of the serve or the toss? And he said, actually, the biggest problem we have is cheating and so it's line calling. Can you give me something that we can have line calling at the youth level? Because the number one reason kids are dropping out of tennis is because the tournaments are so cutthroat on the cheating.
It is.
Oh,
I mean, a lot of the players, they're pretty good, but then the ones that rise to the top are the cheaters. And it's just like, are you kidding? So you find it gets really uncomfortable.
So how does this, so Rapsodo, it sounds like is another version of the Sony thing, but sort of on a different level, on a lower level, you said?
Yeah, Rapsodo was developed, for golfers out there, the portable launch monitor, TrackMan has a big one, $20,000. You can have a big fancy one. You see it on the PGA Tour when they're measuring that, they're seeing that shot trace when the ball, and if you see it behind the tee, when the guys are teeing off, you'll see a big box that's kind of sitting on a tripod in the back of the tee that's looking at it's TrackMan. They have one of those on every single tee. On the golf course at these tour events, and it's a radar unit, and it's tracking, but it's super expensive, right? So what Rapsodo did was take that and take it down market. Yeah, we took ours, and so ours was hundreds of dollars or low thousands instead of five figures.
So it tracks where the ball flies after you hit it off the driver for non-professionals. So like when you're not televising a game or whatever.
That's right. That's right. So we have a personal unit. You get for $300, you could take this out to your driving range, and you could be measuring all your launch and spin and tell you how far you're hitting all your clubs. And if you want to test out a new driver and see if you're hitting it any better, you take one of these. So it's a big business, and now it's home simulators. Now it's all about doing the hitting it into the screen and being able to play Pebble Beach. Even
there's that whole pro league now that's hitting it into a screen.
And exactly.
Really crazy. Yeah.
TGL.
Wow. That's pretty cool. So far, I mean, so you did this Sony thing, and then and so I'm sure you have other clients as well. But then you also have this Rapsodo, and then before that, you were was it investing, like essentially sports VC?
Yes. So we're doing sports entrepreneurship. So we started a company called Stadia Ventures, where we had a sports tech accelerator. So we started a small fund and we would do 10 companies a year, 2 cohorts a year of 5 companies each. So we'd have a fall and a spring cohort, 5 companies each, and we would have probably 150, 200 companies apply for the 5 spots
From everywhere.
Yes, from all over the world. And those
Wow.
5 spots we would invest up to 100K.
Okay.
And then we would do we would have a lot of mentoring, because it was all sports industry executives doing this. So we would invest and then help them find help them find leads and help them with their biz dev. And we did that from 2015 to 2023. So I got to see a lot of the early stage sports companies as they were just starting.
How would you guys profit? Would you get a little share of the companies? Okay.
Yeah.
So then
you
You're
get
basically a VC
IPO.
model, right?
Yes,
like
it's
a
a
VC.
it's a VC model, a little different in that we had it was really heavy touch. So we'd have programming. They would come in and we would do programming. We would have a mentoring. We would work with them. So we would invest dollars, get some equity back. We would invest this mentoring sweat and get equity back for that as well. So, but it was the ROI is waiting for them to have waiting for them to have a liquidity event, get acquired or go public. Yeah.
So was it literally like Shark Tank? Like you kind of
It was. It was.
Did you have them come in? You guys are in the leather chairs and everything.
We would have for 5 spots. We would have like 10 or 12 finalists come in person, and then for sharks, what we would do is we get all our industry buddies to come in. So I didn't like the head of innovation for the Orlando Magic was there. The head of innovation for Under Armour was there. The guy from Nike was over there. A guy from the St. Louis Cardinals there. And we'd have we had like 80 of them in the room, and then you'd have to come out and pitch in front of 80 of these executives.
It's nerve-wracking, man.
It was a blast.
But how did you get these people, man? That's hard to like. How did you get this network?
Yeah, my partner and I, we started with another partner who we had over 25 years of experience in the sports industry between both of us, and we basically just said we're just calling up all of our friends that want to come do this. And it was funny because we say that it was the testament. It's not that we were really great guys or great. It's just that we were basically we weren't assholes. If you stick around long enough, and you're not a jerk, people generally
like you. Yeah. And then this event, I could see a lot of them are probably like, hey man, I haven't seen you in a long time. And then they probably just want to come out, have a beer with you before or after,
and network with each other. They network with each other. It's like it became like a trade show almost for the innovation community in sports. It's like they want to come and they want to talk with each other. They want to see these companies and they spend time together. Yeah.
Did you have any actual athletes come in, or is it more the business?
Oh yeah.
Kind of.
No. We had a bunch.
Big names that we would know.
Let's see. I mean, in the St. Louis community, we had Orlando Pace, who was Hall of Famer for the Rams. We had Larry Hughes here. Larry Hughes, slew in the Sixers star.
Ozzy is huge there, right?
Larry Hughes was a great basketball player, right?
Yeah, Larry was a great
basketball. Smith or Vince Coleman. That was from the day I was at WashU. Those guys.
We had Marcus Colston. The NFL receiver would come to a bunch of our events.
That's pretty cool.
We had the Players Association. We would deal with all the Players Associations guys because they're always looking for new companies that can help their players become more marketable, stuff like that. Yeah.
That's amazing. Are there any cool tech things that you guys ran by that you can tell us about?
One of them that we've invested in multiple times, still a portfolio company to Steady is a company called Nix Biosensors. It's a wearable disposable hydration patch that you wear that basically tells you what you need to do, whether you need to hydrate, and what you should be drinking. It basically looks at your sweat, analyzes your sweat, and in real time on a phone on an app on your phone tells you what you should be, if you're, what you should be doing.
That's cool.
So endurance athletes it's big on endurance athletes.
My daughters need
military.
that.
They're going to the military market with that. Yeah.
In tennis, they just don't know. They think that they're fine out there. But
I don't think, is it really
yeah.
for tennis? I think tennis, wouldn't you just like when you're thirsty, you drink? I mean,
No, but they don't know it. Like my daughters, I'll tell them,
Yes.
I'll go, dude, you need to, eat a banana or drink something, and they'll be like,
well,
oh,
eat
it's
a banana
fine.
is different. So they have glucose monitors that do the same thing, right? Art? So
Yeah, yeah,
when you
yeah.
first said
Yes,
hydration patch, I thought you meant you get actually you get hydrated, but this is more of a
Yeah.
monitor, right?
It's a
Well, a
monitor.
monitor to know that you
It's
should
a
be
monitor. So
maybe
that's
upping
yeah.
it.
I mean, because
Yeah.
for something like a triathlon, it's huge because if you
Well, that would
overdo
be.
it, you end up like throwing up or something.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Whereas like
Exactly.
the quick sports, you could just be like, I'm just gonna drink, right? I mean,
Yeah.
something like a
Yeah.
marathon, you have
True.
to do it at the right level. But like a
Yeah.
tennis, I feel like you're just like, hey, just make sure you
It's
drink up.
definitely not as drastic as like a marathon or something where you're just
Right,
going to keel over.
right. Yeah, so it's cool. It's cool stuff like that we've been seeing for years. So I spent a lot of time on the phone over the years with entrepreneurs, with people
Yeah.
that are just starting off. Hey, can you help me out? This is what I got, and yeah, a lot
I
of
gotta ask
introductory
you
phone
though.
calls.
So Wayne and I and you have some roots in St. Louis somehow, but that is not the place I would think of to be like a sporting entrepreneur. Like why St. Louis?
We had all these people fly in, and it was funny. We would ask them, "Hey, who's been to St. Louis before?" And it was like nobody would. It's like nobody.
Nobody, yeah.
And so this is our first time coming, and we got them to come in. So the city actually helped us out quite a bit. The first one we had, we had a session at Busch Stadium, and the owners of the Cardinals, the Blues, and the Rams were still in St. Louis at the time, and the Rams
Right.
all came to talk to it. And they
Oh,
kind
wow.
of they really helped us out because we were helping bring a bunch of the industry to St.
St.
Louis.
Louis.
Oh, okay,
I think
so
it was the one good part was that it was a short flight for everybody, right? So that's the one good part about
'Cause
being
you're in the
centrally
middle.
located.
Yeah. If you can get
Everybody-
direct, though.
I know, right?
St.
Yeah,
Louis does
yeah.
not always have direct.
Southwest, Southwest, baby,
Southwest. Southwest would do it. So
I couldn't
so I
get
get
there
it. So,
from Huntsville.
Yeah, no.
so I get it. So it's not that the industry is already sports there. So it's because you guys are drawing people in and they fly into St. Louis.
Yeah, we
okay.
were, yeah.
So now Rawlings is there, right? Because you were there.
Rawlings
at
is
Rawlings
headquartered
before.
there.
That's what I moved here for. I moved here. I'm a Philly guy, and I moved here to St. Louis to go work for
Rawlings.
Rawlings Sporting Goods, primarily in the baseball business. Yeah.
Was that your first foray into sports?
No, my first was I started off in the golf business. So my first job I was working in defense after my graduate degree, and then I saw an ad for Titleist. So
Okay,
here's the
so
story.
when
So I
you
see an ad.
graduate-
Titleist runs it at golf club engineer in the back of mechanical.
cool.
That's how nerdy we were. Us Asian mechanical engineer nerds. we have Mechanical Engineering magazine. In the back of it, they have the want ads. This is all pre-internet, no internet.
Yeah.
They have the want ads, and there's a want ad. Golf club engineer, Titleist. Do you want to play? Learn how to develop golf club. I said,
Hell
yeah,
yeah.
that's
Because you were a golfer as well at the time?
I was a golfer at the time.
okay.
I was putting clubs
Yeah,
together
and you were
on my own.
ME mechanical engineer.
I'm an engineer.
So you were like,
And it's like
this could
I said-
be nice.
it's like and so of course this is how I'm a young guy. It's like mid-20s at the time, and I said, hey, this is really cool, but I don't want to just send my resume in to there. And it literally was like mailing your resume in. This is again pre-internet, no email. Yeah. And I said, I'm going to call. So I remember talking. I talked to our sales rep who called who was a college golfer. He played at Clemson. I asked him, hey, do you know anybody at Titleist? And I go, no. He goes, no, but my buddy is a pro. He's playing the mini tour. He's a Titleist guy. Let me find out. And so he calls me back later and says, hey, my buddy says the guy you should talk to is a guy named Wally Uline. So I write down Wally
There you
Uline.
go.
So then I go to the this is the yellow pages, right?
Yeah.
Yellow pages.
Yeah, right.
So I put 1-800. So I'm telling 1-800. I'm dialing. And hello, Tyler's Footjar Worldwide. I say yes. May I speak to Wally Uline, please? So okay, please hold.
And they
Hello,
connect you.
Wally Uline's office. May I help you? I said, oh, is Wally there, please? I said, no, he's not. But do you have an appointment? It's like, no. So what are you calling about? Well, I'm calling about this, blah, blah. And my buddy's friend Joe, whatever, told me I should talk to Wally. And he said, well, it's for this golf club engineer job. And she goes, oh, golf club. No, that's Wally's not interviewing for that. That's over in R&D. Let me see if I can connect you with somebody in R&D.
Holy cow.
Sure enough, I get and somebody, hello, R&D. It's like, yeah, I'm interested in the golf club engineer position. I said, oh, so where are you? Well, and I said, well, Tell me, and the guy starts talking to me, and I said, "Well, this is what I have it all set up. I'm in resume. I've been talking on these different. Let me fax you. This is again, let me fax you some of my ideas." And then he says, "Great, I'll fax it." And so I get the interview, and I get the job. And after I get the job, I'm getting the job and I see my first paycheck, and the bottom of the sign of the signature of the paycheck is Wally Uline, President and CEO, Titleist and FootJoy Worldwide. He is the freaking CEO. I called the CEO of the company, and his assistant, his secretary answered and forwarded me to the right. It was
right.
You cannot make this stuff up.
Right out of school.
I was 26, so I'd been working I was at 2 years out of graduate school.
Yeah, and you were working crappy, like it sounds like how I started, Department of Defense jobs. Yeah,
and so it's one of these. I tell my sons, this is one. It's a good story of you never know what you don't know, and sometimes it's better to be dumb. Sometimes it's better. I was
you would
too
have probably
dumb.
been all intimidated to be like, I'm not going to call the CEO. Like, what am I, an idiot? You would just. It's better just to be going and not.
But was that your personality though? Do you think you did that because you didn't know better, or was it just like your personality is I'm going to go get this thing?
My person was I was very resourceful, and I'm going to do whatever I can to do it. But had I known that was the CEO, I don't think I would have called it. No.
Yeah, maybe not.
I would have asked, "Hey, know somebody else? I need to find somebody."
Yeah, you know somebody else.
That's amazing though. So you had no plans to go into sports. You were just full on engineer. Until you saw this.
I was engineer. It was funny because my wife, Mary, you guys know Mary. So we were dating in college at Penn, and she was the one that said, "Hey, you're so into sports. Maybe you should look into sports." And so, and when I was looking at the undergraduate at the career center, and I remember I asked them about careers in sports, and that was back when nobody had it. And so they said, "Oh yeah, I think we have a book on that." And there was one book, career, and it was a directory of sports companies. And I ended up calling. I was big into skiing, so I ended up calling I got an interview with one of the ski companies, and it never amounted to anything. But that's kind of planted that seed of there are jobs out there where you actually can do this stuff.
Titleist and things, because I just stuck to the boring engineering, and I didn't think.
But for guys like us who are engineers who also play sports, that is such an amazing
dream.
Hey man, I got free golf balls for 7 years. It was.
Yeah, you probably lost a lot of them too, right?
I know when I was playing with your brother-in-law, and then he was like, "Oh, you got to do the Pro V1." I mean, they're expensive as crap, man. So 7 years of free Pro V1.
Oh yeah. So I go to the first sales meeting. And I'm there, and it's a shotgun start, right? We're all playing this tournament. Shotgun start. We're off on this tee in the middle of the woods in this golf. I forget where we were, and we had no time to warm up. And my welcome to Titleist moment was I'm playing with the sales rep, and we don't have time to warm. And he just pulls out a brand new dozen of balls from his bag, sets them down on the tee, and hits them into the woods. He's warming up. He's warming up, hitting brand new golf balls into the woods. It's like. Okay,
just because he can,
he doesn't care
because he doesn't care. The golf balls are like water, and he didn't have time to warm up. So this was his warm up. This was his warm up while we're waiting for the
brand new
tournament
golf
to start.
Just wasting them.
That was an eye opener. Yeah.
Man, if you're a golfer though, that's awesome. That's really cool. So what advice would you give to some kid? Let's say your son Jackson or whoever else wants to get into like sports, like engineering and sports. Like, is there a way to get in?
That's such a great.
Is that even a major, sports engineering?
It is. And there's if you look at it now, like we're in baseball, if you look at a lot of the analytics, baseball is very heavily analytics.
Well, data analytics has been huge.
It's a huge business. Look at all the general managers, the GMs nowadays. It used to be you had to come from a playing career, and now it's you generally come from business or analytics side of it.
Interesting.
To go, it's the money ball.
Look at how many NFL teams now are going for it on fourth down. Whereas when I was growing up, that was like
they phone up
the guy go for it.
Yeah, analysts say the numbers say that you should
go for it. Yeah.
It's just data science, data analytics, huge. Regardless of what you go into, even AI is going to require someone to be able to program things, to be able to say how to direct it, and so I try to tell my son is data science is something that is no matter what field you go into, even if it is sports or others, that is something that it's so valuable.
Yeah,
To
yeah. I
have.
think even when we were younger, data was a especially bigger deal for like a baseball. But now you're
Yeah.
right. I mean, for everything, it's all
Everything,
about the data.
everything.
Even the
Yeah.
football fourth down stuff, Wayne, like you
Oh,
said, it's all
yeah.
about crunching the data, which is more likely.
So when I was at Repsodo, and we were here, so I would go to the WashU has a sports analytics club.
Yeah.
And they go and they compete. They have competition. So MLB puts on a competition, college competition, and WashU was winning it for a bunch of years. And so I would go to that club and hire interns off of that club. And
Cool.
two of them now are with the Yankees, and one of them's with the Nationals.
Dream
Wow.
jobs,
Dream
man.
jobs.
They
So
got it. That's
That's
awesome.
amazing. Wow.
yes,
Well,
yeah.
so tell us about this race thing too. Before we started, you were telling us about how when you get into sports, especially back in the day, it was mostly white people. Did
Yeah, well, and I was used to that. When I went to high school in the suburban Philadelphia, and I'm in grade school and high school in the 70s and early
Yeah.
late 70s, and back then I did not have very many other Asian students. I went to a private school growing up. There was our class was 100 boys, and I think there was one other Asian Asian boy,
One other, yeah.
Chinese, Korean, Japanese, just one other
So you probably heard
out of
the
100.
Chinese, Japanese, look at my knees,
All of
whatever.
that, absolutely,
Every
all of that.
Asian guys at least
All of
have
that.
that then.
I'm playing in a deck hockey league. I'm playing in a hockey league there in the high school, and I'm doing well, and I'm playing with all and it's kind of a rough and tumble Philly crowd, and the ref, and I'm having a good game, and the ref comes up to me and says, "Hey, what are you, the Wayne Gretzky of China?" And I said, "Yes, I am."
I was like, if
Yes,
anybody
I
says,
am.
"Are you the Wayne
Yes,
Gretzky of
I am.
anything?"
I am the
Yes.
freaking
I
Wayne
say yes.
Gretzky of China. Yes. So yeah, I mean, I was used to that, but yeah, when I got into the business, and the golf business was white. I mean, it was very much a white male. It was a country club white
Good
male
old boys network, right?
yes, good
Because you
old
probably didn't
boys
even see
network.
many women either in there at all.
No,
Right?
no, and most
Yeah.
of the people that were in companies and starting companies and sales reps were former players. They
Oh,
got in
yeah.
because they were players. They were college players
Yeah.
there, and they
Yeah.
rose up. And so I would go to these trade shows, and the only other Asian faces there were Japanese. The guys that would come up from Japan
Oh, right.
to look at technology. So yeah, I
Ichiro.
would get mistaken. People would talk to me in Japanese at these trade shows, and I had to tell you,
Yeah.
it's like
So
no,
okay, so this is
yeah.
interesting. Like if somebody thinks you're Japanese, do you take any offense to that? Or are you like, oh yeah, I guess I'm Asian?
Yeah, no, I'm used to that where I don't take offense very easily because
Yeah.
it's if I did it would be too it takes more energy to do that. And
Yeah.
I generally get by with it with humor.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll just brush it off with humor and keep moving on and yeah, if I don't take it as a chance to make a point. I just take it
Right.
as
Yeah.
I want to make things as easy as possible, and that's just my
Yeah.
personality.
Yeah. I'm the same way. I hear you. Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting. I mean, back in the day, all that stuff was so different, but I guess it's a lot more diverse now, I imagine. Right? I mean, back in the
Definitely.
day, Augusta, like I don't know, actually, does Augusta take Asians? It was like only white guys, wasn't it?
Yes, I think I think they had an Asian before they had a
Tiger?
woman. I
Oh,
think.
before a
Yeah.
woman.
Wait,
Yes, yes,
Tiger, they must have let
yes.
Tiger. Well, yeah, because he played
Well, no,
Augusta,
honorary. I
right?
mean, all the past winners are honorary members, but no. So
Oh,
I got to tell
okay.
you. So I mean, when I was at Penn in Philly, so we're going out to a kind of divey place in South Philly, and my
Hmm.
friends always remind me of this, that we went there and we're in the bathroom, and this guy is drunk. This old guy is drunk, and he comes in, and we're there going to the bath, and he goes, looks at me, and goes, "Didn't I shoot you in Vietnam?"
Oh, geez.
Oh
Yeah,
my
it says,
God.
And this guy, I mean, he's clearly,
he's drunk and
he's and my friend said, and he said, "Do you remember what I said?" I said, I don't. He says, "Yeah." He said, "Yeah," and it sure hurt too. Why'd you do that?
It sure hurt.
That's just, whatever. I'm not going to get I'm not going to get
exactly.
Yeah, so
what are you going to do? You're not
going to punch him out.
You got choices to make, and so it's like whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
whatever.
Well, let's wrap up this part of the podcast. Let me ask you about your White Castle. So we always like to ask about the White Castle happy place that people have. What do you think your White Castle is, Art?
Yeah, I mean that's easy. My happy place is definitely around golf and being out on a BS, just being on my quiet time, my me time is on a golf course, on the range or on a golf course. And so the place, the one place for me is Bandon Dunes out in Oregon, Oregon coast.
Are you like a scratch golfer? Don't you have to be like really good? Otherwise, you're just like
otherwise, if Hansel and I were there, we would just be embarrassing.
No. It's all sorts, but it's walking only. It's so pure. There's no golf course.
Okay,
it's
though.
walking
I'm okay
only.
with that.
It's gorgeous out there, and there's not a lot else to do out there other than it's just a bunch of serious golf nuts. They're eating and drinking, sleeping golf right there, and the golf
That's cool.
Is world class, and that to me is like spread my ashes out there on one of the tees at Bandon, and I'm happy.
That's awesome. That's awesome that you're still playing. Like I think Wayne and I both stopped. I don't know, probably 20 years ago.
Yeah,
a long time ago.
My golf clubs have gotten to the point where the foam cover on the putter just dissolves.
Hey, it's the one sport you can continue to play as as your body breaks down. You can still.
We got to get back into it. CoderBros, go to Bandon Dunes.
That's it. I'm there. Count me in.
CoderBros, go to Bandon Dunes.
I'm in.
But honestly, though, they don't have people like that are kind of beginnerish. I mean, everybody there is pretty damn good, right? I mean,
it's not cheap and it's tough to get to.
Right.
It's not cheap. So there's you're not going to
work on
if you're if you're a very beginner, you don't want but scrape it around too much. But no, we go out there. I go with groups and friends, and we have single digit handicaps. We got guys that are 25 handicaps, shooting 100 out there.
Okay.
Didn't we all go to Pebble like way back in the day, like in the early 2000s? Were you on that trip, Art?
And stuff?
Was Emmett?
I think yes. We did a bunch of the Bay Area golf there.
I remember
those are good times.
Pebble Beach is just kind of like a Bandon Dunes where you go out there and you're just whacking away because it's such a hard course.
And then and you have to try to forget how much you paid to be doing that.
Exactly.
You just feel like
you cannot get into that. Yeah, you can't get into that.
Or we can do it the Asian way and be like, hey, we're getting more for our money's worth. Hansel and I, we got 200 shots, for our money. Same amount of money. Hansel and I get 200 shots.
That's it. All about value. Always value.
All right. Well, here we go. Let's go to the podcast. There is the gong. That signifies our Haru quiz time. So, Art, I'm going to ask you 3 random questions about Chinese stuff. Totally random. But we'll give you some hints if you need. Let's see how Asian you are.
Let's see how.
Chinese all right. So, have you been to China lately?
Not in the last 6 years.
6 years. Okay. All right. So that might be right around the time China
5
is
years.
like
6 years. Yeah.
Okay. It's getting crazy modern out there. All right. So in China, you basically, when you go to 90% of the restaurants out there, you basically don't need to talk to anybody to order. Why is that? How do you order in China?
Kiosk.
Pretty much. Kiosk on your phone.
Kiosk
phone.
Phone.
There you go.
Kiosk or the QR code. Kiosk or the QR code. Yeah.
I thought so. I was in China like 2 years ago, but I thought it was insane. Like basically, there's no you could go to the kiosk, but everybody just has that QR code. There's no real waiters coming around. You just order and you pay through your phone, and just it shows up for a couple bucks or whatever. How much?
I like that.
Yeah, it's super efficient there. Maybe it's part of that whole Asian being introverts. Nobody
so I get a credit. I get credit for that one.
You get the ding ding.
Ding ding ding. You got that one.
Good.
1 for 1. If we're
all right,
doing
number
that,
2. Question number two. So the robots, have you seen any of those robot drone videos that they have for China these days? Like things their droids are doing. Have you seen those videos?
The one dancing. I seen the guy like yes, the guy like doing
the
flips
kung
and
fu
stuff. Yeah,
guys.
yes,
It's
yes,
it's
yes.
amazing what they're doing. So anyway,
Yes.
so you can actually rent. This is not. So this you can rent a robot climbing assist gear in China, like to climb one of those tourist mountains. It's like this thing you put around your waist, and it goes around your legs, and it like basically powers your legs, so you don't have to spend as much
You are
energy
kidding.
climbing.
What the hell?
So like
You
if
are
you go to
kidding.
this tourist trap or whatever, one of these mountains, they'll rent one of those to you. How much would you say it costs to rent
Oh,
one of those for 3 hours in US dollars?
in
And it is pretty cheap.
in 3 hours.
Three
I mean,
hours
I'd
time,
say
robot legs.
in the
Robot legs.
in the US that's got to be like $300. So in
Holy.
China in China's got to probably be like I don't know 100 or 50. It's got to be a
It's
lot cheaper, right?
it's even less. It's
Less
even
than
less.
50.
It's like $10 to $20 US.
Oh,
What
geez.
the heck?
It's insane. Well, like, like if you go out to Shanghai, the financial capital of the world, if you just go to
Yeah,
their local vendors or whatever, you can get food for like $3. That's why like
yeah.
China
Oh,
is so
right,
awesome.
right.
Like you can put that QR code thing in, pay $3 and get like a full meal.
So
I
are
did not.
people really
I,
renting these things though? They're that lazy, like robot
Well,
legs?
this is like I don't know if we have equivalent of that
that's so
here.
funny. $10. I don't get credit for that one. That was way off on that one.
Almost, you're 50.
I mean,
You're
50.
getting pretty
We'll,
close.
we'll give a half. We'll give a half. Just like
I
a
gotta
short,
try one of
yeah.
those things.
There you
Though.
go.
That
All
sounds
right.
pretty cool to be
All
able to
right.
climb some mountain.
That's funny.
Okay, all right. Last question. These are all very random questions. Last question. At the top of the Great Wall of China, have you been to the Great Wall anytime recently?
Yes.
You
I
have
mean, that's 5, 6 years ago. Whatever that was, 6 years
Okay.
ago, 5 years. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I went there when I was a kid. I just remember there was so much climbing. I was like sweating balls, and I was
Yeah, it's
climbing
hot in the
these giant.
summer.
It was crazy. Okay, so at the top of the Great Wall of China, you can actually get food like boba delivered. It's totally random. How can you get it delivered? One of these three options. Is it a standard dude on a scooter rolls up the wall? Is it B, there's a tunnel system with a conveyor belt that like will, pull the boba up there? Or is it C, by drone?
Gotta be drone. It's gotta be by
Gotta be
drone.
drone.
Gotta
Gotta be
be.
drone in
It's
China.
gotta
Gotta
be drone.
be. Yes.
Where it's a
Yeah.
guy with robot legs going up the wall
Yeah,
to deliver
crushing
the
that.
boba.
That'll be the next one.
That would be the
Gotta
next
be by
one.
drone because that's way up there. That's way up there. We did the whole riding down on the cart the cart thing that at the they have the one part where you can come down it's like a
Oh,
slide or put on
oh,
your
I
own
didn't.
carts.
Last time
We
I
did
was there,
that,
that
and
wasn't
that was
there.
a
That's
long
cool.
ride, man. That was a
Yeah.
long
Oh
ride
yeah.
going down there. So yeah, that's
Yeah.
way up there.
Yeah, it's in like really hilly terrain, right? I mean,
Yeah,
I remember when I
yeah.
first went, I was like, I thought it was just a wall, but then I remember I had to like climb like a mountain or something to get to the top. It was crazy.
Boba drone. That's good to
Yeah.
know. Boba, that's cool.
It is cool. We were in Shenzhen actually 2 years ago, and we had to go find a kiosk that did this. So we actually went and like you go to the kiosk just in the middle of the street, and
Right.
you punch in the numbers or whatever, and you say I want a boba, and you wait for whatever 15 minutes, and you just see this
And
drone
it comes
flying
down.
around the building.
That's so
That's
funny.
insane.
That is so
Really cool.
funny. That is cool.
So Wayne, how did Art do today in a Haru quiz?
Well, in baseball terms, for Art, I'd say you're batting 750, which is insane, right? That's like all-star level.
All-star.
It's an all-star
Excellent.
go.
number, Art.
That's
Excellent.
all-star.
My mom
Nice
will be
work, Art.
happy. My mom will be
That's
happy
right.
that you
I think
got
you
That's why
can
we
get
do
it. Yeah,
these.
it's UPenn level. UPenn level.
That's right,
You get
UPenn
it.
level.
Modern day, not
modern
back in
day. Yes.
the 80s.
Not the slacker days back then.
Yeah, back in the 80s when they let any kind of,
Exactly.
Any slacker in. So Art, let's finish this podcast by you having us tell us what your life tip is.
As it's because I was texting my son earlier today. He turned 21 today, and my theme of my text to him was, that it is all about empowerment. And feeling as if the idea of feeling that you are responsible for your own for your own future. And I think that's something that it's difficult as a young, when he was younger, and we're always telling him what to do and all that, doesn't feel empowered. And I said, look, this is when you really need to feel as if you are the main actor, director, and producer of your life. And and for me, that was a little bit overwhelming when you first start thinking about it when you're young. It can be intimidating. What should I be doing? But then once you become comfortable with that and you say, you know what, if anything's happening that I don't like, it's on me to change it, and I'm empowered. I have the ability to do that. That's to me, it became a source of happiness, and really, because you're in control, good or bad. You're in control of your own life.
That
so
is huge.
feel empowered. Is just, and I don't care where you go. I said, I don't care where you go, as long as you're doing it because you want to do it, and that's feel empowered. Yeah.
But with the Asian model of, like we said, tiger mom, it's very opposite that a little bit. So I think some of the Asian kids coming out with the tiger parents, that's one weakness I see, is that they've pretty much been guided their whole way, all the way to MIT or Harvard, but and they're top of everything and they get in, but then I think they're missing that part, like, because
I said this after he got to college. Before, it was like in high school. In high school, it's like, no, because we had both hands on the steering wheel in high school, because we think that where he goes to college is important. It is more important, and we're not going to let him make that decision on his own. We're going to help guide him there. But once he's in college, my feel is that, hey, now the world is your oyster, and if it takes you a few years extra to figure out where you want to be. That's fine. There's no race anymore. There's no. It's the race is the rest of your life.
That's right.
Yeah. I mean, I guess when they're a minor, you got to control them as the parent. That's your job. But then once they get to be 21, they're on their own.
That's 50% of our our parental group here. 50% of us feel this way. The other 50%, he doesn't. Still wants to hang on.
I mean, there is even the whole other side of, like, I mean, because there's a ton of people that can't get into UPenn or even try, like. And even if you get into maybe a lesser college or whatnot, you still can actually do great. That's good, because Hansel and I've had those debates too. Where
absolutely can. But to me, it's the idea that all through high school you're on a schedule. You're on a track. You got to take these courses. You got to get hit, and then you generally maybe you take a gap year, but you're going to go to school kind of somewhere around there, and you got to get going. But once you're in college, I don't care whether you find the graduate school or find the job you want right away or not. It's really where are you going to be 10 years from now? Where are you going to be 15 years from now? And what's that path you're going to be on? That's more important. It's the long game than the once you're in college.
The control thing, I kind of interpreted it a little bit differently. I heard it more like you sort of control your life and you control what happens to you instead of letting things happen to you.
Yes.
You get to decide, right?
Yes.
And if something doesn't happen your way, you can decide to change it next time. And you can only decide to change it next time if you decided you were in control.
If you're in control, exactly.
If you say that something else, it was because of something else or someone else, then the next time it happens, you have no control.
I think that is huge.
It's not the victim. You're not the victim. You want to go look in the mirror. Go look in the mirror.
I see so many adults, like adults our age and everything, and they still feel everything bad happened was because of somebody else.
Yeah.
And so.
Yeah. Probably it's because of Trump.
On a lighter note, on a lighter note, maybe, but on a lighter note, Hansel and I, the title of our podcast and all, we go to White Castle, and we actually do love genuinely White Castle. So we always like to hear, have you ever been to White Castles? Do you like them as much as
they are in St. Louis? Because
you are in St. Louis. There is one, so you don't have an excuse.
And I must say, I do not. It's been probably over 25 years since I've been to White Castle, and never sober. I don't think I've ever been. I've never been.
But when you were there, sober. You did enjoy it, though, right?
When I never because I wasn't sober.
That's the best time to have it.
Oh yes.
So you should down a few whiskeys tonight and then head out to the White Castle.
Head out to White Castle.
I know where they are. Yeah.
Next time you're out drinking, we will go to White Castles then. There you go.
Done.
Well, cool, Art. It was so awesome to talk to you, man. Congrats on your career. Congrats on having your White Castle at Bandon Dunes. We'll see you there when we when we spread your ashes way in the future.
That's right.
Yeah,
love it. I love it. And Ansel, I got to get your background. I dig my background, but your background, I'm a huge Ultraman fan.
Ultraman.
I got to get that. I had an Ultraman head cover on my golf bag for a bunch of
did you
years.
really?
Oh
cool.
yeah.
Yeah,
Ultraman
that's super awesome.
Love it, man. Awesome, guys.
You already passed the test by even knowing who Ultraman is. So
that is true.
Come on, that is the best. When my light's going to start blinking, I'm going to need to fly off and come back. Yes.
All right, Art. It's been awesome, man.
Thanks,
Appreciate
man.
your time.
Awesome, guys. Thanks. Enjoyed it.
We are sponsored by none other than theCoder School, a company that teaches kids how to code with over 70 locations all around the country. So if you're interested in getting your kids to code, head online and check us out. Learn to code, change the world. Thanks for listening.